I have been on a wild ride, and I wanted to pull back the curtain and share everything with you. Because let's face it, um, we all see what we put out there on social media, but is it the whole truth? Is it everything but the truth, right? So my epic failure, which was so much fun, to be candid, guys, I don't consider it a failure at all because I learned so much and I enjoyed the process, but a lot of people would consider it a failure. So that's what I'll call it. 2018, I was at an event called Funnel Hacking Live, and it was amazing. So I decided to go to this event because I knew that I needed to learn how to market. I needed to learn how to grow a business. And one of the key things that happened at that event was this guy, Tony Robbins, was a speaker. Now, you guys all know how I feel about Tony Robbins. I think he's amazing. I think he changes lives, and I love it. So Funnel Hacking Live was the first time I experienced Tony Robbins. After he got on and presented, I was like, that's it. He is the best speaker I've ever seen. I want to see more. I want to get more. So I got tickets for my wife and my parents, and we all went to UPW, July 2018, July of last year. Life-changing experience. And for me, it was a pivotal moment in my life because I realized what a huge need for significance I had specifically from my dad, which got in the way of my relationship with my amazing, beautiful wife, who may even be watching. Emily, I love you. I love you. Anyways, so this need for significance with my dad got in the way of my relationship with my life. So I was able to change it. Fast forward to October, I'm trying to implement some of these marketing strategies, some of these tactics I've been learning in the business I'm running with my parents. And it was a franchise. We got requests to cease and desist what we were doing because it was against their rules, against their bylaws, whatever, right? So I made the decision after some careful thoughts, working through my feelings, I made the decisions, you know what? It is their sandbox. They get to decide what the rules are, but it is my choice to play in that sandbox. So I decided I am going to go out and start a business. And that is exactly what I did. I left my job. Type in freedom. Freedom! I am going to stop trading time for money. I am going to go out there and start my own business. Yes, oh, I'm so excited. And so I left my job. I went after freedom. I started down this journey and it was amazing. I had so much fun. So November 16th, 2018 was the last day I had the honor and privilege of working closely with my parents, who were incredibly supportive, and they still are. They're amazing. So November 16th, I'm like, that's it. Time to start my company. Oh, by the way, no idea what it is, no idea what company I'm starting or what we're going to be doing. I just knew if I did not jump, I never would. So jump I did. And we decided, you know what, with all this change, the best time to build a foundation is at the beginning. So my wife and I decided, let's go to Date with Destiny. So she sent me to Date with Destiny because she is the most supportive and amazing person in the world. Emily, in case I didn't mention it, I love you. So I decided I am going to change the world by connecting the world with the right live event to change their life. That is where Unboxing Events was formed. That is still my vision. My vision is a software platform where people who go to events can share their experience with people thinking about going to their events. I'm still going to build it, but I got sidetracked. So I realized, and anybody who's familiar with software will agree, that software is incredibly lucrative once it takes off. But getting it to take off is a money pit. Like, it is a drain. So I decided I'm going to partner. So I partnered with Steve Warner, who's an amazing human being. He's been doing events for a long time, and I figured if I'm in the event space, I might as well do event consulting to build up this business. That was how we were going to generate revenue and take that revenue and use it to fund this software company. So we were going to do event consulting. We're helping people plan out their events and strategize them and all this stuff. And so partnered with Steve, and it was awesome. We were working away, and I had this idea. So when I first started, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out and sell stuff. I don't even know what I'm going to sell, but I'll sell it. So I put together this coaching program. I went out, I sold 3 people in like 2 or 3 weeks, 15K coaching program where I'm spending a lot of time one-on-one, helping them get over their hurdles, helping them build their business. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to go do this coaching program. About 3 or 4 weeks later, I'm building out this idea. I'm working with Steve. We're planning this whole virtual digital event designed to teach people all about events, all about the process, all about how we organize them, orchestrate them, and use events to generate cash flow, right? So I'm planning this virtual event. And as we're going through, as we're planning out this event, I realized I don't want to trade time for money. And gosh darn it, I am better than that. So I'm not going to trade time for money. So what do? I've sold 3 people $15,000 coaching program. So I go back and I tell them, I'm not going to sell that anymore. Thank you for believing in me. I love you. But I'm doing this instead because I don't want to trade my time for money, right? Because I'm special. I know better. Side note, I didn't know better. I'm not special. Anyways, so I go back to him. I say, thank you so much for believing in me, but I'm going down this road. I'm not going to do that coaching program anymore because I don't want to trade time for money. And so I found out this is a very common problem, which leads to, and further in this story, I'll tell you about what I'm doing now. So everybody right now, type in time for money, because that's what everybody tells you to stop doing. Stop trading time for money. Stop trading time for money. So type it in, time for money, time for money. So I'm on this journey. I say, hey, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to do this. So I hired some amazing experts, people who, like, honestly, I am honored to call them friends. I'm honored that they would even take my money. Like, I was brand new. So I hired these experts to build out this event, to run all this traffic. I paid Facebook a ton of money to drive traffic for my events. And so I'm going down this road saying, I am no longer going to trade time for money. Never again will I trade time for money. I am going to build everything so I can scale. Like, these were little conversations I had with myself. I was like, yeah, I can do this, baby. Don't worry, I still have those conversations. Just a little more mature about what I can do. Anyways, so I'm focused on never trading time for money again. And we put on this amazing event. We built a huge list. I've got friends because of what I did there. But when you're starting a business, it takes 2 things for any business, literally any business on the face of the earth, to succeed. Number 1, it takes time. Number 2, it takes capital. It takes money. And I was running out of number 2. Like, to be totally transparent, I was running out of money. And so I'm going through this whole journey. And we did this event, then we're planning, all right, we've got this list, we've invested a boatload of money, it's not turned into money yet. So how do I take this list? How do I take what I've been doing and turn it into revenue? Because that's what I need. Like, for anybody to succeed, you've got to have revenue. You've got to have money. So I'm looking at all the different options, everything I can do. And probably July 1st, July 2nd. And I am looking at my budget. I'm looking at my family, because at this point in time, July 1st, I have sold my house. My incredibly super amazing, I don't know if I've mentioned her yet, wife, Emily, who is beyond the best person on this planet. Sorry, everybody else, but Emily's the bee's knees. Anyways, she's agreed, not only encouraged me to leave the comfortable job and start my own business, she's also agreed to pack up our entire lives and move across the country from Boise, freaking Idaho to Orlando, freaking Florida. Like, that's not we'll just move in a weekend, right? It is a process. So not only are we starting a business, but now we've packed up everything. We've moved across the country. So we move across the country. We sold our house. We took the cash, the equity we had in our house, and invested it in the business. I have 5 different retirement accounts that I'd been investing in. We've closed 4 of them, put it in the business. We had 2 cars, down to 1 car, put it in the business. I went all in, and Emily supported me every step of the way. She's amazing. Yes, Mark Stern. I love Emily. She is so amazing. So, like, we take all our money and we've invested it into this business. Now I've got a list. I've got some products. I've got things that we can do. They're just not turning. They are not transferring from this list, this event that we did, into the cash I need to not only build my business, but at this time, I'm looking for, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay to take care of the rent, the mortgage? How am I going to pay for my car, right? You got total transparency here, guys. Anybody else been in that situation where it's like, how am I going to survive? That's where I was at. July 1, a great friend of mine, Mark Stern, who's on here. Mark, I love you. Thank you, Mark. He came out. We had just moved to Florida, and he came out and spent a couple days with me, him and a couple other friends, masterminding and looking at business. And he asked me some really tough questions and some really good questions. And that's when I decided, because of Mark, because of those questions, that's when I realized, you know what, I can push this. And I have complete confidence that if I wanted to, I could still be pushing live events and that coaching. I would have needed to go get another job, right? I have to pay for my bills, and I'm not above working. Like, trust me, I will work till I die, but I'd rather work on my terms. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, all right, I can push live events. I can push this, or I can go back to the drawing board. I can start from scratch. I can start over and maybe get some traction that way. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to start over. I told Steve, I loved being a partner with you, but the fact of the matter is I cannot afford to have you as a partner, because when revenue comes in, I need it to go to one place, my family. I need to pay for food. I need to put food on the table. So I told Steve, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you've done with me. And like, we're still good friends to this day, but I can't afford to have you as a partner. And so I looked at my skill sets. I looked at, what can I do? What value can I bring to the table? How can I serve people? How can I help people? And I realized I've always loved coaching and helping people. And I'm not the only one who's had this dream of being an entrepreneur, this vision of going out and creating something. If you're an entrepreneur, let me hear you. Say, I've got the dream. Type in dream. Say, the dream is here, right? So I'm not the only person who's had this dream, right? There's tons of us out there. I've had 10 years of experience helping other businesses scale, other businesses grow, other businesses take themselves to the next level. I thought I was special. I thought I was unique. I thought there is no way this could feel. Like when I went and invested my entire life savings, mine and Emily's, I thought there was no way this would fail. But I tried to do something that was really stupid. I tried to build a scalable business before I had a business. And that's what I realized. I tried to stop trading time for money. So I did this. Let me type time for money, right? So instead of trading time for money, I decided I knew better and I was going to trade time for no money. What? It's way worse, trust me, way worse to trade time for no money than it is to trade time for money. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. So I started my new business and I looked at how can I trade time for money? That is my one goal because I have plenty of time. How can I trade time for money? And so I started this business thinking specifically, how can I build something that is unscalable? Something that there's no way I can help more than 10 people, more than 5 people. But when I'm helping those 5 people, I'll also feed my family. Like I took my ego, I put it on the shelf and said, Justin, you're gonna work your butt off because those kids and Emily that I love dearly, they deserve it. They deserve the best in life. So that's what I did. I traded time for money. I figured out how can I do this? How can I take the skills I have and go apply them to other people's businesses and help them grow? How can I help other entrepreneurs who are getting started avoid the pitfalls that I went down? See, when you're getting started in a business, if you do not have revenue coming in, one of my beliefs is until someone pays you to do something, you are not a business owner. You're just unemployed, okay? Until someone's paying you to do something, you're not a business owner, you're just unemployed. So I decided I'm gonna focus on helping other people avoid the pitfalls that I have struggled with, avoid the path that I went down, and focus on the first thing that it takes to grow a business, which is sales. Getting revenue in the door. That is the most important thing for any business that's starting. And so my failure, if you want to call it that, I do not consider it a failure. But my failure was I started a whole business and closed it in 6 months after investing $100,000 in it. 6 months, boom, my whole life savings. But guess what? I learned some amazing lessons. I met some amazing people, and it is part of the journey that I am on. It is part of who I am. I've loved every minute of it. And even though it was costly, I look at it and I say, you know what? There are tons of people who went to college for 4 years to get less of an education than I got in 6 months, and they spent more. So I don't share this because I want sympathy. I share this because I want to empower you. I want to empower you to know that no matter what comes, you are going to make a huge impact on the world. You can change people's lives. You can help people beyond it is so crazy what you can do if you are willing to fail. See, I failed. That doesn't make me a failure. And that is when I first started. When I first left, when I was talking to my parents about leaving Sandler, I told them, listen, the only reason I can do this is 1, because of what you taught me, but 2, because I know if I do fail, which is a real possibility, turned out to be really true. If I do fail, I am still a great person. If I do fail, I am not a failure. So even though I failed, and I'll fail again. That I can promise. I promise you I will fail again. Even though I failed, I'm not a failure. And I got back up and we're still going. We're still changing lives. Like after I made the switch, I went out, created what I call, I've got a 4-step process that I work with people through. Number 1 is an unscalable offer. How can I go out and trade time for money? I want to do that as quick as I can because that's going to build the runway to launch a scalable business off of. So number 1, what's my unscalable offer? Number 2, who's my ideal client? Who might buy it? Number 3, where do I find them? I need to prospect. Number 3 is prospecting. Number 4 is sales. Nowhere in there do I talk about websites. Do I talk about funnels, autoresponders? Like there are so many things people get caught up in that all it does is slow you down. If you want to build a successful business, if you want to start a business, you must start by generating revenue. You must start by how can I create a business that will feed itself, create a business that will launch itself to the next level. When you do that, everything else will fall into place. So when I went and relaunched, right? I still am branding unboxing events. You know why? Because it's not important for me to change right now. Your business is not your brand when you start. Your business is not like you are the business. That's it. Your website doesn't really matter when you're getting started. You are what matters. You've got to build relationships and go out there and impact lives. So impact lives, type it in, because that's what everything we do throughout this experience of life, throughout this experience on earth, everything we do is based on changing lives, impacting lives. And you can do it, and I can do it, and all it takes is belief. All it takes to change the world is believing you can. So I share all of this to empower you, because every single person on this earth, everyone has failed. Type in failed, failed, failed. Everyone has failed. The most successful people on this earth get back up. They get back up and they try again, even though they failed. They get back up after that next failure and try again. And you can too. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage everyone. You have the power. You have the power to change the world. You have the power to change lives. You have the power to help people if you choose to use it. Every day after school, when I'm talking to my daughter, I don't ask what she learned. I ask, were you a good friend today? Because she has the power to change someone else's life, just like you. You have the power to change someone's life if you will harness it. If you will risk failing, if you will risk getting out of your comfort zone and getting on stage and being like, you know what? I messed up. And I messed up epically. And I loved every minute of it. So I want to encourage you. Go out there. Live life. Love life. Because it's your life. And you can. Like, you know what? I am blessed beyond belief. Like the amount of gratitude I have for Emily, for my family, for this journey we're on. The fact that I woke up today. We take everything for granted, but guess what? I may not be able to pay all my bills right now, but I've got a wife that loves me. I've got an amazing friend. I've got an amazing family. And together, we're making the world a better place. Like Becky North. Becky is one of the most amazing humans I know. She's beyond amazing. And sometimes it's hard for us to see that. because we are so close to our own problems. So I want you to take a minute. Look at your problems through my eyes. Okay? Look at you through me. Use my eyes, use my outlook, and look at you. Because I promise you, you're amazing. You're changing lives, you're impacting lives, and everything you do matters. Everything. Everything. People are watching you. Your kids, your friends, your family. People are watching. Even when you think they aren't, people are watching. So with all of that said, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate the people who took the time to listen to this story. I appreciate all the people who have helped me on this journey. I appreciate you. If I can serve you in any way, please, I'm here to serve. I'm here to make an impact. But been working on my mind reading, still got a long ways to go. If I can help you, you got to tell me. You got to let me know.